Welcome back to the Daily Taoist with Nemo. We are talking about the Tao Te Ching and how to get back into spirit and alignment with the way. Today I'll be talking about the 36th verse, living in obscurity. Should you want to contain something, you must deliberately let it expand. Should you want to weaken something, you must deliberately let it grow strong. Should you want to eliminate something, you must deliberately allow it to flourish. Should you want to take something away, you must deliberately grant it access. The lesson here is called the wisdom of obscurity. The gentle outlast the strong. The obscure outlasts the obvious. Fish cannot leave deep waters, and a country's weapons should not be displayed. A large part of your growing up revolved around the words, "Notice me." You were taught the more attention you received, particular for being a good little person, the more status and approval you'd get from your peers, as well as adults, as you knew. Become number one, you were told, earn the gold star, win the championship, get the best grades, become a valedictorian, attain the letter sweater, gather up trophies, and so on. Such lessons were all about rising to the top of the crowd and evaluating yourself based on how you stacked up competitively with everyone around you. When you change the way you think about your place in the great scheme of things, you'll discover the wisdom of obscurity. Allows you to eliminate the competition from your life and retreat into quiet strength. In other words, Lao-Tzu is asking you to take it easy and base your view on an entirely new criteria. As you do, your world will begin to reflect a gentle, low-key soul who outlasts those who measure their strength by how much status they have compared to their peers. This verse opens with the idea of understanding the dichotomous nature of the material world and then encourages you to become an astute observer of your life. Feeling belittled means that you must know what it's like to be important. The idea of being weak grows out of having known what it's like to feel strong. As one translation of the Tao Te Ching, the way of life according to Lao-Tzu, translated by Witter Bynner, reminds us, he who feels punctured must once have been a bubble. He who feels unarmed must have also carried arms. He who feels deprived must have had privilege. Avoid the pitfalls feeling weak, unimportant, stressed, or fearful by transcending the thinking that got you there in the first place. Keep in mind that if you feel weak, you must have had the opposite perception of being strong at least once. If you experience stress, you have had the idea of what being unstressed is like. By becoming independent of the need to compare yourself and fit in, you choose the path that Lao-Tzu calls the wisdom of obscurity. That is, you release your need to be more than anything in the eyes of others. Lao-Tzu concludes this elegant verse with the metaphor of fish leaving the deep water. When they try to examine the surface and see the big world beyond those depths, the little guys no longer surface or no longer endure because they're captured by a net. Hence, you'll find the great lesson of this 36th verse. Stay under the radar and you'll outlast all who strive to be recognized. When you shift to this viewpoint, your desire for obscurity will surpass your need to be seen as strong and above everyone else. And you won't end up all alone in your trophy room. Here is what Lao-Tzu offers you from 25 centuries ago, when he dictated this enduring tome of wisdom. Strive to know oneness by seeking awareness of opposites. Make every effort to stay in the present oneness of in your mind. For example, if you're tired, remind yourself that you know what it's like to be rested. Recognize the opposing feeling so that you can know both of them simultaneously. Do this with any sensation. If you're depressed, weak, jealous, unloved, anything, the antithesis of what you're going through is within your experiential framework. Seek the opposite feeling right now in the moment and be at one with it in your mind, for this will provide you with the balanced sense of being at peace within yourself. This is oneness, wherein you entertain extremes and use your mind to be like the Tao, which never divides anything. How can oneness be broken apart? It would no longer exist if you could split it up. Withdraw yourself and allow others. Monitor your inclinations to compare yourself to others or to stay within the system. A system is designed to get you to behave just like everyone else. It contrives to make comparisons determining your success and happiness. The Tao Te Ching urges you to seek obscurity. Draw little or no attention to yourself, and don't ask to be recognized. Instead, allow. Let other people flourish, waxing on about their strength and their popularity. As Lao-Tzu says, you must deliberately grant others the right to expand. Take your own lesson from the fish that endure and stay in the deep waters of your Tao-directed soul. Do the Tao now. Give yourself an assignment to be as much in the background as you can for an entire day. Stifle inclinations to compare yourself to anyone else or draw attention to yourself. You can accomplish this by making a commitment to be interested in others today, substituting the pronoun I for you. So instead of saying, I did this kind of work for years, tell me how you should proceed. Remark, you seem to be doing so well in your new business. In the language of the Tao, stay soft and gentle, and you will endure. I believe that's excellent advice for the 21st century and beyond in this third millennium, in the conceptual age, in the creator economy, as some are calling it. I never thought that the Daily Taoist would surpass 30,000 plays, 30,000 downloads. So thank you very much, those of you who are listening, tuning in, following my journey. I feel like that little fish most of the time, living in obscurity, living in the darkness, watching what's going on, but not necessarily having to engage in it, and not having to become recognized for everything that I do. If you want to show your support, the best thing you can do is follow, like, and subscribe on your favorite platforms, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcast, or Google, or wherever you get your indie podcast. I support the indie podcast industry, especially. YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel at The Daily Taoist on all platforms, including Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. At All Truths Only is my main handle. What I am building is part of a larger network, including the Doomer Bloomer podcast, Yukon Gold, and The Daily. Together, worldwide, the consciousness of this earth, this planet, this Mandelbrot universe is shifting. If we can shift only the square root of 1% of 8 billion people, we can have world peace in less than 10 years. I see it. I have it right here beside me. right? I have my map of the world. I can see where the conflicts are. I think and I send prayers and peace to the Middle East every day, subconsciously, right? And we're going to get there, guys. Um, Thank you for helping me get to that 40,000 downloads, 40,000 plays. Namaste from Will and Nemo. Cheers.